Dear students, in this video I'm going to show you how to use an array of objects. This is from our textbook chapter 9, program 9.3, page 610. We are going to use inventory class as an example. Here we're going to see the class design first. The class name is inventory. For any inventory, you need to have private data. You need the item code. You need a description. Both these are strings. You need a price for an inventory. After the private data member, we have public functions. First, we have a default constructor. For default constructor, you don't have arguments, so you leave this blank. And inside your code, you use default values. For item code, you can use XXX, means unknown. For description, you can use a blank space. This means default value for strings. For price, you use 0. For double. This is the inline code. Whenever you have some code that's very short to implement, you can write the code right after your function prototype in the class declarations. This is allowed only for short code, and for efficiency reasons, you do the inline code. Like we did in chapter 7 and 8, you see, usually you need to do your these implementations after right here in this location. You need to implement one by one, write your function bodies after the class definitions. Since this is inline code short, and this is allowed. Second inventory constructor uses 3 values. So this is a constructor with 3 arguments. First one, user input should be a string for item code. Another is a string for description. Then user input for inventory's price. So user input CDP will be given to the private data to carry into inventory. You have to have some get functions. There are 2 here, and you need get code, return a string. That means return each inventory's item code. So you have a local variable, you call it a code, and you say your local variable code equal the inventory's item code and a return code. Actually, you can just return item code here. It should not be a problem. I will explain why they put a constant here. The book mentioned this in chapter 7 and 8. Constant here means this function is not allowed to change the class member's value. Each class member, they have the privilege to change the data members around, but since this one's for return a value, you don't want the function change anything, so you put a keyword constant here. So this is usually used for get functions. And we have another example here. To return each inventory's description, you declare a local variable and give data member a description to local variable and return local variable. You don't have to return local variable. You can just return description here and skip this step. So constant here will guarantee the description here won't change anything. Okay. Last one is return the price, and you see this one is the way I mentioned for these 2. You can just skip the local one. There are no set functions here, and because this is a simple example, they want to keep the code concise and short. they put the function declaration together with the definitions. After you class declaration and implementation, you can see how to use it in the main. In this main, we focus on how to search an array of objects. We need a function to search. So this function is part of the main program, and we should have the implementations over here. So this is the implementations for the search function. Okay, let me go through the main first. Okay. Inside the main program, we have a local variable, constant integer size array 6. You declare an array of inventory. Just like you have an integer array, string arrays. Here you have an inventory array. It's an array objects. And the name is software. The inventory array size is 6. This is the array initialization list. To initialize each the inventory, you have to use a constructor. There are 6 inventory, and you're going to use 6 initializations. And we use a second constructor. Let's see here. See, in the main, we are using this constructor. Plug in 2 strings, one their double price. So for each inventory, you're going to plug in their item code, the description with the price, and 6 for 6. At the end, you use a semicolon to end your declaration for your array of inventory. Here we have a local variable desired code, a local variable integer position, and the char do again. Start the do while loop. You're going to search item code. So you ask for a code, read the code first. Then you're going to call function search. And we see the function prototype. To search array, you need the array name and array size and the searching key as the searching string. So here we are using search. We plug in software. This is the array name. And the size, of course, is 6. The desired code is from user input. So you ask user input read first, then plug into this. This function is going to return an integer. You see, function type is integer. So it returns an integer, and return the integer to give to local variable position. So if the return value, position value equal -1 after the function call, this default value means the code user input doesn't exist in the inventory. That means there's no match for any of these 6 inventory code here. So this is a default value. If -1 means the code doesn't exist in the array. Otherwise, that means there's a match. So you're going to say this array name plus the location. Position means the index location in this array. And this is a inventory. So you have 6 inventory. This could be any of the inventory here. So this inventory can use function get description because each inventory is able to use get description to show what's in the description. So by knowing the position value, we can know the array, which array item is a match here. Then we use that inventory's get description to display their description. Then we're going to use the array and the get price to display the price. At the end, you're going to ask the user, do they want to play again or not? By let them to press Y or N. If user input is uppercase Y or lowercase y, that means they want to play one more time. So the do while allows them to do this one more time. Continue until the press end somewhere at later time. So that's the main. Let's see how to design the search function. Search class. So this is the array's type is inventory, and this is the array name. You can call it anything. Okay, and to tell this is a plugin for array, you need to have these two brackets. This is array size. This is the searching key or a search string value. Inside of the search function, you initialize the array index with 0. Then you're going to start the default position value with default value -1. And use bool variable found initialized with false. And here we see the while loop. While loop is used to search or step through the array to see found or not found. So our search condition is index mass less than their size, and while not found. So you have to have both controls when you search an array for something. Inside, we're going to use a if loop or if statement to make the decision. So inside the if, you're going to use the index. You start from 0. That means from any the array first one, and its inventory, let the first one in the array get a code, and compare with user searching value, and use double equal to compare. If these two matches each other, that means the user's search value equals whatever in current array location, and their code is a match, you're going to say found is true, and because there's a match. Then you're going to keep track down the found location, where is the found value, and you need to say your position equals the current index whenever there's a match. After the if, you're going to increase the array index to go on the top to start another round. So while you index less than the size, so if is still less than the size. Oh, and not found. If there's a found here, and not found will be false, that means you quit. Whenever you have a match, and you go back to top here, and this while loop is going to stop, because this value is going to be false. And wherever you have a match here, this while loop will stop. And when you stop the while loop, you're going to return the found location, that means current index. So the function type is integer. So that's the whole program design. Let's have a quick overview again. We start our class definition with 3 variables. We have 2 constructors, default, and 3 arguments. We use 3 get functions to return the private data. And there are constant functions because we don't want these functions to modify any of their private data here. We have inline code because the code that are very short. We want to make them efficient, so we don't write implementations after the class definition. We have to use a search function. This is a function prototype to search array of inventory. Inside main, you start your array declaration. You call it a software size 6. Use the constructor to initialize 6 inventory. Use 3 local variables. You start your do-while loop because the user can at least search once. Ask user enter a searching code. Then you're going to plug in function search, array name, array size with the searching code. And the search function is going to return true or false, no, -1 or index. If index is -1, default value, that means code doesn't exist. Otherwise, you're going to use array name, use index location to get their description, also get price. And ask the user again if they want to play again or not. And let's run this code to check. Okay, no mistake. We're going to start. So enter item code. Let me just say 0012. There's no match. I look up again. And just say yes, lowercase y. Enter code. I know there's one code called S15. Yeah, so this soup spoon costs $2.35. Look up again, say no, and that's it. So that's about how to use array of objects. Thank you.